I just got done meeting with Peter. His last name is Parker. I asked him how his spidey senses were doing. He responded with, "Funny you say that, I actually work in web design." Peter lives in Dallas, Texas, home to America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. America's team, please. Last time y'all won it was in '96 before Ross and Rachel were ever on a break. Peter's single. He's had some girlfriends in the past. He hasn't found the right gal just yet, but he's perfectly content being single. We can always update the plan, but for now, we're gonna plan it as if he remains single. In retirement, he wants to keep an active lifestyle, travel, spend time with friends and family, and he has a medium level of concern about not having a paycheck anymore, suffering investment losses, and frankly being bored. He was very adamant about being done working at age 58. He's in great health, so his current expected age to live until is 92. So that means we need to be planning on how to live off his nest egg for 34 years, which can be challenging, but not impossible. Here are Peter's goals. The dollar amounts that you see are in today's dollars and after tax. So instead of guessing what something may cost in the future, we are establishing a baseline of what those things cost today, adjust for inflation, and plan on what things may cost in the future. He wants to live off of $120,000 a year. He wants to spend $25,000 annually on travel, give $25,000 to his local church, and $15,000 a year on things like season tickets to the Rangers, Cowboys, and Mavericks. He loves his Toyota Tacoma and would like to trade in to get a new one every 10 years. And the cost of getting a new truck after trade-in is $40,000. I encourage him to log into the Social Security website, ssa.gov, and create an account so we can get an accurate projection of what his Social Security benefits will be. He finds out if he starts taking at age 62, which is the earliest that he can start withdrawing from, he will get a first-year benefit of $33,123. Yes, he would receive much more if he were to wait until age 67 or age 70, but it's worth it to him to take it sooner because he values being done with work more than he does higher Social Security payments. He has 3 investment accounts, 2 that are retirement, his 401k and IRA, and an individual account, which is a non-retirement account. 401k is invested into 3 funds, an international fund, a fixed income fund, and a large cap value fund. He is maxing out his contributions, which for 2024 is $23,000. His employer matches dollar for dollar up to 5%. All of his contributions are Roth, and the employer matching dollars are all made with pre-tax dollars. Now, you'd think that the employer match of his $400,000 salary would be $20,000, but you'd be wrong. In 2024, the maximum salary that is used in calculating contribution limits is $345,000. We know he makes $400,000, but his employer is basing their matching contributions as if he made $345,000. So their match is $17,250, 5% of $345,000. So his combined annual addition total to his 401k between him and his employer is $40,250. He also has a traditional IRA. He makes more than the allowable amount to contribute to a Roth IRA, so he is making contributions to a traditional IRA. Sometimes you can deduct your contributions depending on your income, but he makes too much for that. However, he still gets tax deferral in the account, which is a huge benefit. He has only one holding in there, which is a fixed income fund, and he plans on maxing this out every year until retirement. And lastly, he has an individual account, which again is a non-retirement account. It can be used to fund things down the road, but before retirement, or it can be used as a tool to fund his lifestyle between age 58, when he retires, and when he starts receiving Social Security benefits at age 62. He has one holding in that account, which is a large cap value ETF. There's currently 10 grand in there, but he is committed to contributing $60,000 to this account annually. And remember, there is no contribution limit for this type of account. On top of his contributions, I threw out the question, if he had to invest an extra 12 grand a year, or 3% of your income, would you be willing to do that? To which he responds, he is somewhat willing to do so. Next, I asked him about his assets. His truck is currently worth about $25,000. He has 10 1-ounce gold coins. His home is paid off and currently worth $465,000. As a gift to himself for paying off his home earlier this year, he bought himself a watch, but not just any watch, an Omega Seamaster James Bond edition money penny. My best Sean Connery. To which he paid $10,000 for. Shout out to the millennials that played GoldenEye on 64. Hey, how's your back doing these days? Ladies, can I let you in on a little secret? All of us guys either want to be James Bond or think we already are. He's also got $30,000 in saving as a liquid emergency fund. Because he's debt-free, he will obviously not have anything listed on liabilities, which means his net worth is just shy of $1 million, which is phenomenal. He's excited to hopefully hit that milestone before age age 40. As far as his risk tolerance goes, there is a bit of a disconnect. Do a risk questionnaire together and realize on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being conservative, 5 being aggressive, it's actually a 5, but his investments as they currently stand more closely resemble a 3. So without knowing what his probability of success is with this plan, I already know based on his score that he can comfortably afford to be a little bit more aggressive. Based off a stress test of 1,000 trials, Peter has a 35% chance of success. In baseball, if you're hitting the ball at a 35% clip, you are a Hall of Famer. In financial planning, you would be a Hall of Gambler. We need to make sure it's much, much higher than that. The software can get us to 51% just by making a couple of quick changes, and those changes are saving $10,000 a year and changing the portfolio to 33% more into stock or equity exposure. We obviously want to get better chances, so we are going to super solve this bad boy. So if we put in a solve target of 75%, which is great, and Peter's okay with that, see, we can do it. He's just got to work 2 years later. Got to decrease his annual spending by $6,000, increase healthcare costs a little bit, but on the once, we got to cut down those by half. And we're decreasing the Tacoma completely. Plus, we have to put in $6,000 a year into his taxable account. Not ideal. So if we lock in those wants and wishes and super solve it so that he's not sacrificing on things that he really wants, we can see we can get there. We can actually get it to a 76% chance, but he's got to work 3 years later. We got to decrease annual spending by $30,000, increase healthcare costs by a little more than $1,300, and increase our taxable savings by $12,000. Again, he's very, very adamant about being done at age 58. So if we lock that in and super solve, we can see that he's got a 75% chance of success. However, we got to cut down annual spending by half, 60,000 bucks, and still increase our taxable saving by $12,000 a year. Just because I'm curious, I'm wondering, all right, if we had to work an extra couple of years, would you be willing to? He's like, sure, let's just see what it looks like. So we put in age 60, super solve it, and see that we can get a 76% chance of success. And we'd only have to decrease his annual spending by $41,250, increase healthcare costs by $849, and still increase our taxable savings by $12,000. The reason why I love doing this so much and having these conversations is we're not locking anything in right now. We're just kind of framing our mind in such a way that we know the things that we have to do now and what that lifestyle can or will look like down the road. If Peter becomes a client, I would manage and make changes to his investments in his accounts and set him up on monthly contributions to both his IRA and his non-retirement individual account. We'll review his financial plan periodically, but even on the months where we're not connecting, still going to get a monthly newsletter from me with market updates and what I see the market doing moving forward. If talking about your financial plan is important to you, send me an email in the description below. I can review your investments, your accounts, talk about your hopes and dreams, and put together a plan that will hopefully bring you success and peace of mind. Thanks so much.